Welcome to another edition of Let's Play WWE 2015. We are here on the first SmackDown following the Rumble. And it is somewhat of a big SmackDown because we are building not towards WrestleMania, but instead we are building towards Fast Lane in 2 weeks on pay-per-view, because Fast Lane is our next pay-per-view event on the WWE Network, and that's where we're headed from here. So, as I set up the pre-show match between Rhino and Adam Pearce, and so without further ado, let's jump right into our first show here tonight. First match here tonight, as we kick off the pre-show rather, with Rhino and Adam Pearce. And Rhino gets the win over Adam Pearce, as this is the first time Rhino's been seen in 2 weeks. Speaking of first time they've been seen, when you never thought you'd see SmackDown kick off, and I guarantee that you never thought you'd see it kick off like this, because the SmackDown comes in, you hear Scott Hudson and Jerry Lawler welcome you to this week's episode of SmackDown, and it kicks off with a backstage brawl between the Ascension and the Usos. But the brawl does not go too long, as a whole host of agents and backstage staff pull them apart from continuing their fight. But tonight, later on in the broadcast, you will see Connor and Victor go up against the Usos one more time. And that's exactly what Scott Hudson and his cohorts talk about when we jump to the announce table with Hudson, Albert, and Lawler. But now we jump into our first match tonight, as Leila goes up against Alicia Fox after this past episode of Main Event, where Leila and Alicia teamed up against Emma and Summer Rae, and came up short, which led to an argument between Alicia and Leila. And then that's exactly what led to this match here tonight. Now we move back to this past Sunday night, as what would the first episode of SmackDown following a big pay-per-view event like the Rumble be without highlights of the pay-per-view? And this video package shows you highlights of everything from Dean Ambrose winning the title to Randy Orton's chase with Seth Rollins after Seth cost him the world title against Brock Lesnar, and both women's matches, as well as Roman Reigns winning the WWE 2015 Royal Rumble match. Now we move to the next match, as it's the Usos and the Ascension, but the match ends in a draw after Golden Stardust interfere in the match, causing a double disqualification, or double counting in this case, where Connor and Victor and Jimmy and Jay, well, basically, it's a four-man brawl. But that doesn't last long, as Cesaro and Kid run in and save Jimmy and Jay from the attack of Golden Stardust and Connor and Victor. And in reality, it may just be that Cesaro and Kid are coming to join the fight, as 8 men, 4 teams are going going at each other. Chaos on SmackDown in the Blue Cross Arena up in New York, in upstate New York. But what comes of this, you'll have to wait and see. Now a graphic pops up as we head to commercial break that later tonight you will hear from the 2015 Royal Rumble winner. In his first appearance since that match, you will hear from Roman Reigns later tonight. We come back from the break, and Zeb Coulter is making his way down to the ring to do commentary with Hudson, Albert, and Lawler. Zeb is out to do commentary for the next match, and of course, the next match involves his one-time protege, Jack Swagger. And Swagger gets put down by the A-lister himself, The Miz, and Miz walks away with his first victory. After his first victory in a while, after struggling the last couple of weeks to get going, following his loss at the Rumble and his loss to Dean Ambrose and John Cena in a tag match on Raw. But now, Miz says that his Intercontinental title was unjustly stolen from him because somebody doesn't like The Miz. Unfairly, unjustly taken away. But he has a rematch clause. And Miz says that he's exercising this rematch clause in 2 weeks, live on pay-per-view for WWE Fast Lane. He puts out the challenge for Ambrose in 2 weeks, live on the WWE Network and certain pay-per-view providers, as The Miz wants his Intercontinental title back from Dean Ambrose. And Dean Ambrose simply comes out and accepts Miz's challenge for WWE Fast Lane and a rematch for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. And Mickie James comes out. Mickie James versus Paige for the WWE Divas Championship. And Mickie wins after a distraction from AJ, costing Paige her Divas title match, much like Paige did to AJ back at TLC when Paige kicked this feud off by distracting AJ, which did not allow AJ to... which took AJ out of the match and off her game in terms of winning the triple threat match for the WWE Divas title, which she was in with Nikki and Natalya. So I guess even though it took her almost 2 months, AJ still returned the favor. And that led to a big brawl, but not to be upstaged. The Divas champion, Mickie James, and Natalya jump in the ring and start going at it. Paige and AJ, Natalya and Mickie, 4 of the top women in the world, are colliding here on SmackDown. What does this mean for the Divas title? What does this mean for Paige and AJ? And what does this mean for Natalya's rematch? But you're going to have to wait and find out what that means, because now it is time for the 2015 Royal Rumble winner, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns comes out and he says that his cousin was right. That Rock was right, that people don't really like him. But he says, I don't really care, because if you like me or not, I am going to WrestleMania, and I will beat Brock Lesnar and become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Unexpectedly, Roman is interrupted by Paul Heyman. And Heyman, much like Bray, gets free range with this promo, but he basically tells Roman, Brock Lesnar is unlike anyone you have gotten in the ring with or ever will get in the ring with. Because Brock Lesnar is a beast. And you will see that at WrestleMania. Because much like The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30 was looking up at the lights after being beat by my client, you will be looking up at the lights and you will hear the announcer say, your winner and still reigning, defending, undisputed WWE World's Heavyweight Champion, the Beast, the Conqueror, Brock Lesnar. Whether you agree or you don't agree, that's the main event of Royal WrestleMania, and that's what I'm going with. So, oh well. As far as Dolph Ziggler and Joe Hennig, Joe has fallen out of favor pretty much. Dolph still feuding with Tyler, as you can tell. Here is where Dolph tells Tyler, you may think you have the features of a supermodel, but you have the cowardice of, how you say, an uggo. Because if you were a real man, Tyler, you would face me in this ring like a real man and not be hiding like an uggo. Think about that, Prince Pretty. Strong words by Dolph. Now we move. Strong words by Dolph directed at Tyler Breeze. You gotta wonder when we're gonna hear from Tyler again. Or see Tyler for that matter. But now we move into what will be the ending of this feud between Rob Van Dam and Rusev. One more shot for Rob to get back his United States title from the Bulgarian Brute. And Sheamus has stated he will not be at ringside. Or at least so we thought, because Rusev retains the United States title via disqualification when Sheamus interferes in the match. Allowing Rusev to pick up the win, but guess what happens? Sheamus and Rusev attack Rob Van Dam, because this, my friends, is the start of the League of Nations. Rusev, Sheamus are the start of the League of Nations, and their first victim is apparently going to be Rob Van Dam. Now we move back to Scott Hudson and his cohorts at ringside as as another graphic pops up, but this time it is promoting a special episode of Ms. TV this week on Raw with Mrs. Special Guest, the Samoan Submission Machine, the newest WWE superstar, Samoa Joe. And Joe will be there Monday night on Raw to talk to The Miz about his debut last Monday when he and Chris Jericho got into a pull-apart brawl and a very memorable debut for the Samoan Submission Machine. Now we move to the main event. Seth Rollins, Mark Henry. Seth Rollins gets the win over the world's strongest man in what was an average main event, to say the least. A pretty crappy week for the WWE, as though we sold out both shows. Both times we lost in popularity. And yes, you might say, why not use John Cena or Randy Orton or this person or that person? Well, number one, Randy Orton is off TV for right now, recovering from his match with Brock Lesnar. He'll be back next week on Raw. Where's Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt and them to keep the heat going? Well, as you saw, the Wyatt family were on Raw, and in a handicap match against MVP, much like Randy Orton, you will see the Wyatts this Monday night on Raw to go along with Ms. TV with the Samoan Submission Machine, Samoa Joe. So, all that and more packed into a 3-hour show. What's going to happen this week on Raw, this coming Monday? You'll have to wait and find out, because this is SmackDown, and this is where we end. Though we only got a 70, and though we increased our popularity in 7 regions, we also lost popularity in 16. So that's a problem that we still haven't fixed or figured out since this started. But I can tell you, something's about to come out of left field. If you don't get the reference, then you don't know baseball. But all you have to do is wait and see, and you'll know very soon what I'm talking about. So, let me know in the comment section below, what was your favorite part of the show? What was your least favorite part of the show? What did you like? What would you have done differently if this was you? And what do you think I could have done better? And don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Later.